And earlier this week, a new president was elected to succeed Randy Stafford. So please welcome the new president of the USAR Board of Directors, Kirk.
I'm thrilled and I'm humbled to be succeeding Randy Stafford as president of USA Racquetball. This is not the occasion to begin talking with you about how we'll leverage Randy's legacy and Jim and his staff's hard work for the future good of our sport. But please look for ongoing communication in Racquetball magazine and the electronic newsletters that come out. And this is where you'll get to know me better and to hear more about the strategic direction of the board. Randy Stafford's shoes are big ones to fill. In 2002, Randy joined the board in the midst of one of its most challenging financial situations in many years. Through his leadership, his guidance, and his patience, and the considerable support of many, including a number of benefactors in this room tonight, that debt has been essentially erased. At the same time the financial difficulties were being addressed, Randy's leadership took USA Racquetball to higher levels with many significant programs that were introduced or enhanced. Initiatives like the ranking system, the membership structure, tournament management software that so many of us are now enjoying, Racquetball magazine, and partnership with the IRT on 2 Grand Slam events. Randy has truly been a galvanizing force in the world of racquetball. Please take the time to read the article in this May-June issue of Racquetball magazine coming up. Randy wrote a fantastic piece about the past and the present and the future, and you'll enjoy a lot of his stories and references to racquetball royalty, and many, of course, are here this very evening. A plaque has been prepared for this occasion, and it reads, "The board, staff, and members of USA Racquetball thank you for your outstanding legacy of leadership and vision, preserving the past and ensuring the future. On behalf of the USA Racquetball Board of Directors and its membership, Dr. Jim Heiser and I are proud to present this plaque of appreciation to Mr. Randy Stafford."
Thank you very much, Cheryl and Jim, and it's truly my privilege to be here with so many legends and so many great players and so many members of our association. Exactly 4 years ago, when I started as president, I received my first phone call from Jim. The very first thing he told me was, "We cannot make payroll this month." And I thought to myself, man, what have I gotten myself involved into? Well, it's been 4 long years, and I can now report to you now that after all this work and effort, we have taken a $650,000 debt to zero as of last week. And our association is now making money, not much, but enough to say we are operating in the black. This is the first time of this century that this has been accomplished. This could not have been accomplished without the help from so many people who love racquetball. Basically, we tried to restore the confidence in our association that what we were trying to do was right, so people that had a passion for our sport would step up with us and donate their time and their money to save this association. I would like to thank every one of the countless people that helped these past 6 years and tell you without your help we would not be here today. I want to thank our board members who work on a daily basis for racquetball. I want to talk for just a moment about our executive director, Dr. Jim Heiser. During the past 6 years, under the new rules of the USOC, there has been literally a revolving door among many of the other sports, especially on our level of sport, with regard to executive directors. Racquetball is very fortunate that we've had only one executive director during this time. Jim has devoted his entire career to helping our sport, and I can say with complete confidence that if he had left our association, we would not have been successful. It takes teamwork to make it happen, and Jim was the quarterback throughout this entire process. Now, will I miss my job as president? Yes and no. I will not miss Jim calling me on a daily basis, sometimes 2 and 3 times a day for 4 years, and always at lunch, right? I will, however, miss his leadership, his hard work, and his ability to deal with adversity. I will miss witnessing on a daily basis the passion that he and all of our supporters have for our sport. It has been my privilege to be a part of this effort, and I will never forget this opportunity that I've been given these past 6 years. As I mentioned, we've had many generous people step forward to support racquetball. At this time, I would like to mention two benefactors and thank them personally. Sue and Leo Clemitis for being our largest donors in the history of racquetball. Through their efforts, they have personally saved this organization. You know, a lot of us in racquetball, we have a story to tell, and something that happened in their life, perhaps your life, especially mine, that was life-changing. Well, mine had to do with racquetball. I was 17 years old, and I'd been playing racquetball for 4 years. And my family, well, I just graduated from high school, and we moved from Memphis to northern Canada in the early summer of 1972. We were 500 miles above Edmonton in a little town called Grand Prairie, Alberta. And there was a tournament that I knew of in Edmonton called the Klondike Open. And I wanted to play in that tournament. And it was early summer of '72, and I asked my parents if I could go and play. And they said, yeah, we'll travel down there and let's go play. So we drove the 500 miles south, entered the tournament and played. I played a couple of rounds and won. And then I met a brick wall and I got beat. And after the match was over with, this person asked me if I would like to come and spend the summer or a few weeks with him and train for racquetball. I was just a junior. There was no reason for this person to ask me to come do this. I didn't really know this person. I'd met him once before. And I was just a junior. And I thought about it, and I told my parents about it. And I said, well, that's very unusual, and it would be a great privilege. And I had worked and saved $500 earlier that summer. That's all the money I had. And I was going to buy a sailboat when I got back from the tournament. And I said, you know, I could buy the sailboat, become a sailor, or I could buy a plane ticket and fly to where this person lived and go learn some racquetball. So I decided definitely buy the plane ticket. So off I went. And I arrived at the airport. He met me with his family, 17 years old, never been to any place like this before, away from my parents. And I had no money then. I'd spent on the airfare. And he asked me, what are those ice chests for? And they were all taped up. And I said, well, I can't pay you for what you're going to, you know, for room and board and food, but what I can do, I can cook for you. And I just shot a bear and a moose that week earlier, so I brought a bunch of bear meat and moose meat. So I was going to cook, and that's what we were going to eat for 3 weeks. So, you know, that's what we did. So I had the time of my life, and I was there at least 3 weeks and playing racquetball. And this person took me under his wing and gave me my passion for racquetball. As a result, I've been building now 33 years of racquetball courts. That's my job. I wrote a book when I was in college, a textbook. Again, it was my passion. And it absolutely resulted in me being here the last 6 years, giving back, because somebody 40 years ago, when I was 17 years old, gave to me as a junior in what he did for me, and I've never forgotten it. What's even more special is that person is here today. He's our founding father of racquetball, and it was Dr. Bud Muehleisen giving back to racquetball. None of this was planned. It's just, that's Dr. Bud. And without him, I wouldn't be here 40 years later. Thanks, Dr. Bud. Love you, Bud. All right.